On the night of August 24th, 1989, the parking lot of NASA's Jet Propulsion Laboratory in California was full, long after midnight. Inside, engineers sat in front of their screens, waiting for pictures from a machine they had launched 12 years earlier, a probe that was now so far away, its radio whisper needed more than 4 hours just to reach Earth. Voyager 2 was arriving at its final planet, the last world it would ever visit, and the images it sent back that night burned one picture into humanity's memory forever. A deep, perfect, electric blue. A blue abyss at the edge of the solar system. Hold on to that image. Keep it in your head for the next 8 minutes. Because at the end of this video, I'm going to tell you what was wrong with it, and it changes how you'll see this planet forever. Neptune was strange before anyone ever saw it. It's the only planet discovered not through a telescope, but on paper. For years, something invisible had been tugging at the orbit of Uranus. A ghost with gravity. A French mathematician calculated where that ghost would have to be, sent his prediction to an observatory in Berlin, and they found Neptune that same night, within 1 degree of where the math said. Since that evening in 1846, Neptune has completed exactly 1 orbit of the Sun. 1. Then Voyager arrived, and the quiet blue dot turned out to be a monster. The probe measured winds of over 2,000 kilometers per hour, the fastest winds on any planet we know, more than twice the speed of a passenger jet, on a world that should barely have weather at all. And that's the paradox that still keeps planetary scientists up at night. Wind is powered by energy, and Neptune is the planet furthest from the energy source. Sunlight out there is 900 times weaker than on Earth. By every rule of physics, Neptune should be a frozen, sluggish sphere. Instead, it radiates more than twice as much heat as it receives, as if something deep inside is burning. Nobody knows what that furnace is. We only see what it does, and what it does is violent. Voyager photographed a storm the size of the entire Earth, a churning dark vortex scientists named the Great Dark Spot. It became one of the most famous storms in the solar system. Then, 5 years later, the Hubble telescope turned to Neptune for a follow-up, and the storm was gone. Not shrunk, not moved, gone, with a new one already forming somewhere else. Jupiter's Great Red Spot has raged for centuries. Neptune's storms appear from nothing, swallow a planet's worth of atmosphere, and dissolve into the dark within a few years. Why? We don't know that either. Deeper down, it gets stranger. Thousands of kilometers beneath the clouds, the pressure grows so extreme that chemistry itself starts doing impossible things. Methane molecules are crushed until their carbon atoms are squeezed into crystal. And scientists are convinced it rains diamonds down there, sinking through an ocean of hot, electrically charged fluid. And this is no longer just a theory. Researchers have recreated those conditions on Earth, firing X-ray lasers at carbon compounds, and watched microscopic diamonds form in a fraction of a second. We have seen Neptune's rain in a laboratory. Even the planet's magnetic field is wrong. Earth's field runs neatly through its poles. Neptune's is tilted by 47 degrees and shifted away from the planet's center entirely, as if the bar magnet inside it had been knocked loose. And that broken field just solved a 30-year-old mystery, because NASA never stopped watching. Every other giant planet shows glowing auroras at its poles. Jupiter, Saturn, Uranus, all documented decades ago. Neptune's auroras were hunted for 30 years and never found. Until 2025, when the James Webb Telescope finally caught them, glowing not at the poles, but smeared across the planet's mid-latitudes, exactly where that broken magnetic field drags them. And hidden in the same data was a shock. Neptune's upper atmosphere has cooled by hundreds of degrees since Voyager's visit. The planet was hiding its light because it had grown colder, and no one can fully explain that either. And in 2019, Neptune did something no one had ever seen. Its clouds began to disappear. Within months, most of the cloud cover was simply gone, and the planet fell to the darkest state ever recorded. 3 decades of observations later, astronomers found the culprit, the Sun's 11-year activity cycle. Think about what that means. A star so distant it looks like a bright dot in Neptune's sky, delivering 1/900th of the light we get, is still conducting the weather of a world 4.5 billion kilometers away. Quick pause. If this is the kind of story that rearranges how you see the night sky, that's exactly what this channel does, and subscribing takes 1 second. Now stay with me, because I still owe you the truth about that famous blue. But first, Neptune's captive. Its largest moon, Triton, doesn't belong there. It orbits backwards against the planet's rotation, the only large moon in the solar system that does. It's a stolen world, kidnapped from the icy Kuiper Belt long ago. Voyager saw geysers of nitrogen erupting from its surface at -235 degrees, the coldest ground ever measured in the solar system, and somehow still geologically alive. And Triton is falling. With every backwards orbit, it spirals closer. Far in the future, Neptune's gravity will tear its own moon to pieces and grind it into a colossal ring, a crown made from the debris of a kidnapping. Which brings us back to that night in 1989 and the deep blue picture in your head. In 2024, researchers at Oxford went back to the original Voyager data and reprocessed it with modern instruments. What they found rewrites 35 years of imagination. Neptune is not deep blue. The real color is a pale, washed-out greenish blue, almost identical to Uranus. The Voyager team had stretched and enhanced the contrast to make the storm features visible. The enhanced version went out to the world, and the edit became the planet. Every poster, every textbook, every documentary, including the thumbnail that brought you here, shows a Neptune that doesn't exist, and that is the truly terrifying thing NASA saw on Neptune. Not the supersonic winds, not the vanishing storms, not even the diamond rain. It's this. In all of human history, we have seen this planet up close for a few hours. One probe, one flyby, 35 years ago, and even its most famous portrait was retouched. Everything since is a whisper of light, 4 hours old, studied from 4.5 billion kilometers away. There is no mission on its way. None is even approved. Neptune has completed one single orbit since we discovered it. The second one ends in the 2017 S. Somewhere out there, right now, storms the size of Earth are being born and dying. Clouds are vanishing. Auroras are flickering across a broken magnetic field on a planet that is a different color than you were told. And nobody is watching closely enough to see it.